All right, welcome to League of Anarchy Fantasy Football Podcast, where tonight is our league meeting, and we're going to do a few votes, and we are live on YouTube mainly, so the few people that aren't here can chat in the be in the chat room and place a vote, or if they have a question, ask a question. So yes, anyone now in our league that wants to click on the link I sent out to our league, they now can watch it live on YouTube, listen, and place a vote. If they so choose. Clay, do you want to go in any particular order on the vote, or just go in the order that we have them listed?
I was going to say we can just go down the order of how I sent them in the group chat if you want.
All right. I asked everyone else before you even got here, but now it's you and Kevin. But you two were here last week, so it probably doesn't matter. Any questions or anything to discuss other than, once we bring it up for vote, if somebody has a problem or question, we'll bring it up then. But and we are deciding, right? The majority tonight rules, and you have to be present to vote, right? Or voting on YouTube, meaning you have to vote right now, and we'll give the people that are listening on YouTube in our league a second to vote before we finalize anything, unless obviously if the 7 of us here vote one way or the other, the rest don't matter. In our league, the 7 people that are on here would be the majority anyway, so it wouldn't matter other than for your voice to be heard. So the first one is, do we want to switch our waiver or our pickup strategy from a waiver order, which we do now, to a fab dollar method? And Clay, I don't know if we decided were we going to just do $100. I thought that's what you had originally said to make it simple. Yeah. And I guess based on what you said last week, we were just going to do it the very first waiver night would be fab, and the rest would be waiver. Yes. Is what we would be doing. Yes. So what that means is now we could change it. I'm assuming we do it Tuesday night. So the Tuesday night when you went to pick up a player, you'd be bidding on a player. But then the rest of the week, you'd put in a bid and get him as an actual waiver pickup. So anybody have any questions before we put it for a vote?
You would just add him. You wouldn't have to put him in, not a waiver, right? Like how it usually is.
Is after the...
So you're saying once... Okay, that's a good question. So you're saying after... See, the way it would work in the past...
is after waivers, then they're free.
After waiver, then it was just all pickup.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what we want to do?
That's basically the way I'd always seen it was we were just swapping out waiver orders for fab, and then the rest of it stays the same.
Okay, because me and Zach in the league where I play, where it's fab every night. So you have to, if you want somebody, you're going to bid on him. So that's why I've never done it where it was one or the other or both. So
gotcha.
All right. Somebody had a question. Jim, did you have a question? I saw your hand up.
That was my question, was after the bid night, am I still going to have to worry about my waiver order, or will players just...
No. So based on what Clay's saying, there would be no waiver order at all, other than the waiver order would still be there. If 2 of you bid $10, right, the guy who's got the higher waiver order would get the priority. Now, I would recommend, if that's the way we're going to do it, then, Clay, we would change our waiver thing to be the worst team. Because to me, if you're both bidding $10, the guy with the worst record should get the guy, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
So,
can you see what other people are bidding prior to making your bid?
No, it's a blind bid. You won't know till the next morning. Now, let's say you bid $60 to get somebody. You'll get to see that the next guy higher only bid $20, and then you'll know you spent $40 you didn't have to spend. That part sucks sometimes. But that's really the only downfall technically. Everett, did you have a question or just picking your nose ring?
No, I was itching my big ass fucking brain.
Gotcha.
I know how it works. I don't have any questions.
You know how it works.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have a question on it? We just gonna go. You'll be ask each person or just raise hands. It don't matter to me. We've never done it this way before. In a meeting, we just kind of asked, and everybody went, "Okay, yay or nay."
Yeah, we can just ask. If it's
just everybody, let's just raise hands. It's easier that way. And then somebody in the chat room, everybody who wants to change from waiver to fab, meaning if you raise your hand right now, you're saying you do want us to change to Fab. So if you want to switch to Fab, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 6. So that's it. I'll raise my hand. Then we're majority.
All right.
I think personally, and I said it's I think for the league, it's a year early. But I'll be honest, I think Fab helps me. So I was kind of in the middle there. If I wanted to vote for the league or vote for what helps me. But all right, so we're going to switch to Fab dollars with $100 budget on Tuesday nights. And then the rest of the week, it's just pick them and take them as you got them, however you want to.
And there's no way throughout the season to obtain more of a budget.
No, once your $100 is gone. Now, some leagues, I don't think we're ready to trade Fab dollars. Some leagues do that, but I don't think that's something we want to get into. That's a whole other thing to keep track of. So, yeah.
Yep, and that would all be on me to keep track of. Yeah. So
we're not
doing that.
So we are not going to do that. And I guess we didn't say it. And you're going to allow 0 Fab bids. I was against that. I thought we should at least have $1 for you to make a Fab bid, especially if we're going to have open things. But
yeah, I'm sorry. No 0. I was talking about just the adding to where it didn't cost anything to add people after.
After the first auction. First auction.
Yes.
But
So
my thing is, though,
have to add something.
but if you spend all your money, you can still put in a $0 bid in the way you want to do it, the way we're setting it up.
Okay, I guess I misunderstood then. I would say that first night you do have to put at least some type of even $1 bid.
Then a $1 bid would be the minimum, which means if you run out of money, you can't bid anymore. You can just pick up a player later, and that's the way I think it should be. Okay, everybody understand that?
And
So
Are we not voting on that part because that wasn't discussed before?
yeah,
we just did the main vote.
I said it last week that we should have at least a $1 bid. And Clay didn't
When
understand.
I thought he was saying every day there had to be at least $1 bid. So that was my misunderstanding from when you asked that question.
See, if you're bidding, Zach, if you're bidding every night, then you have to sometimes have.
I know what I mean.
Right. So this way.
Do we feel like we need to vote again? If we do,
my only thing against it is because I guess it doesn't really matter because if I want to pick up a different kicker or a different defense, I can just wait till the next day.
Right. That's exactly.
Yes.
See, because we're allowing you to pick up anybody the other 5 days, it doesn't really matter if you have $0. If you're bidding $0 anyway, you can just pick him up if no one else bid $1. So I think
that should be your punishment, kind of, if you end up running out of all your Fab dollars by the 3rd week or whatever.
Mego, what's your question?
So does that go to worst team then after the Fab dollars, or is that just
the only thing that would go to the worst team would be if both of you bid the same amount. Then the worst team would win.
Then it's the first one that picks him up.
Then it's just the first one that picks him up.
What's the hour? When do the hours start?
I think it's 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
no,
I mean, when does it start? Does that start on Sunday at 1 o'clock or?
Yeah, once you can know, just like normal, like when you would put a waiver claim in, remember how you would put it in on Monday or whatever?
People didn't understand waivers till about week 12, Clay, So
you remember when you would add people to your team and you would have to sit and wait. It's the same kind of thing, but instead of that, you're putting money on it. So you can add.
But that kind of starts on Sunday, right?
It starts Tuesday morning after the Monday Night Football. Once every game played, that's when the waiver. That's when it starts.
Yes,
that was my question. After the Monday Night Football game, and then that goes till Tuesday
night. Yeah, your bid has to be in Tuesday night before midnight. I think
I think it's midnight. Yeah.
So by midnight, you have to put in your bids. Now you can put them in early. You can put the bid in whenever, and it'll know that the bid isn't good until a certain day. And I think you can even change that. But
so you need to have bids locked in pretty much by 11:59 Monday night.
There you go.
Yeah, just like a waiver claim.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Just like it was when you'd want to claim a player. Same thing.
Yep. Kevin, question.
So as Zach was saying, just so I got this right, say I want to pick up, say I want to pick up Prater as my kicker, but I don't want to spend a bunch of money. Can I put a $0 bid on somebody who I don't think anybody else is going to pick up?
No, you would have to wait till
least $1. Or
waivers are
wait till waivers clear at 4 a.m. And then you'll have from Wednesday till Sunday when they play at 1 o'clock to pick up a kicker for $0 if you want.
Or you just put a $1 bid in for a kicker.
Right.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
But
So
I didn't know if there was somebody like deep down on a list that I knew I wanted, I could get away with getting them for $0.
If you wait till the next morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you
So
have to bid $1.
So that's Wednesday morning, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Wednesday morning at 4 o'clock, roughly.
Okay. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
no problem with that.
I'll be up by then.
I'll be up by then too. I'll be
Me
good.
Mhm.
Any other questions? I mean, we passed it, so it's over. I didn't see anybody comment anything on YouTube. So if anybody was voting, obviously we already had the majority, so it didn't matter. There's 7 of us here. It's the most people we've ever had in a meeting in a long time anyway.
Mhm.
So,
Ever.
yeah. All right. The next thing was we want to vote to increase the buy-in to $50. We paid 40 the last couple of years. Now, in the way we have it worded here, I'm good either way if we take that 50 and just put it in the prize pool we have now. But my goal was to take that extra $120 and spread it out some other way. And I'm willing to keep track of that. Clay was worried about keeping track of it. I just thought it'd be nice if we had some other payouts during. And one of the most popular ones is, you take the $120, that's $10 a week from week 12 or week 2 to week 13, and you just pay $10 to the team that loses but scored the most points, if that makes sense. Mago had his hand up first. Go ahead.
Other thing is I'm talking to Jeff about a little pedestal that has past winners, and we'll have spot for future winners. If everybody's cool with that, just throwing an extra $5.
I already told you I'd help you with that.
I'll pay for most of it, but if
Take
everybody
care.
wants to $2 or $3, whatever.
I already told you I'd help you with that.
I'll pay for most.
And we each have to pitch in at least $1 for that toe ring. That'd be about $12, and that should get a toe ring. But right now, what's up for vote is additional $10. And like I said, if we want to vote to make that $10 go towards some other part or other price pool, I just, like I said, we paid 40 last year. $50. A lot of people tell you $50 and move up makes your league a little more manly than a $20 or $30 or $40 league. So I don't know. We hit the $50. It seems like you're in a bigger league. Clay, go ahead.
Are you also talking about doing payout for the most points scored throughout the season? Just week to week.
One, if we vote this down, nothing changes. We pay 75% to the winner and 20% to the Super Bowl loser. That's what we do now. Now, and if we want to still do that and add the $10 and just make those two more payouts higher, I'm fine with that too. I just thought at least during the season, nothing sucks than having the second highest score and losing that week. At least you get $10. If you do that 2 or 3 weeks in a row, you damn near get your $30 or $40 back. Almost pays to be in the league. So that was
because I think it was, who was it? Reed last year finished with the most points, but almost missed playoffs or whatever.
Reed probably could have won $30 or $40 that way.
Yeah.
So
I'm fine with it. I just didn't know if you were wanting to do weekly and then whoever finished with the top at the end of the
payout,
season.
we would just keep track. You would not get paid out every week. It's just at the end of the season we would know who got the extra money. And then most leagues then take that bonus money and roll it up over into your buy-in the following year. So if you won $30, the next year you'd only owe $20 to get back in the league. So most leagues don't pay out those bonuses; they just roll over. Zach, you had a question?
Yeah. What's this extra 10? What are we voting on this extra $10 going?
I think right now we just need to decide if everyone wants to put in 10 extra bucks. And then if we pass that, then I thought we should vote on. That's the thing. It really kind of requires 2 votes. One, if no one wants to put in the $10 extra, it doesn't even matter. So first we're just voting on, do we want to put in the $10? Then if everyone passes that, then we'll vote, do we want that $10 to just go to the main prize pool, or do we want to have a $10 payout during the season? So that's what we're going to vote on now. Increase the buy-in to $50. If you're for it, raise your hand. If we have a majority, we'll move on. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't see Magel's hand there. Magel's up. That is 6. So we had was Garrett the only? Oh, Garrett now's for it. So that would be 7. If anybody's in Facebook on the league and wants to put it in, so that's the majority. We're going to raise it to $50 buy-in. I guess it's up to you guys now. Do we want to do a weekly payout? And we can figure out the structure a little bit later. I don't think we need to discuss it because there's multiple ways to actually do the bonus payout. Or do you guys want to add it to the prize pool? So that'll be the next thing we'll vote on. Anybody have a question before we vote on that?
No.
All right. Everyone who's in favor of a weekly bonus, raise your hand. Ooh, we got so we got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 3-4. Or 4-3 right now. There's 4 yays, 3 nays. We'll wait a few minutes, see if anyone's out there on YouTube, if anybody wants to vote.
I think it gives those teams that aren't very good in weeks 10, 11, 12, 13 more reason to continue to play.
That was my point, right?
Yeah.
You set your lineup, you hope to score a lot of points, and if you win, and again, it's only a $50 buy-in now, but if you win 2 of those, 3 of those, that's $20-$30, and then the following week, you're putting in $20 more. So
also, if you end up losing it, or it makes losing not as bad. If you, especially if you go on a straight, because I've gone on like a 3-game losing streak, but had the most points every time. So,
what's this bonus going to? I mean, what is the weekly bonus based off of?
What do you mean? So head-to-head matchups, the points you have, whoever has the most points and lost, correct?
That's the one I like because the incentive is. Some people like to just do the highest score guy, but that guy already won. My argument always is it gives you a reason to keep playing and setting your lineup. And you have a shitty week because you scored more points than Brody, but Brody won and you lost. So you get $10. That's all. It's
essentially. So here are the numbers crunched. If you keep the extra 10 and pool it into the winner, instead of taking home $360, 75% would be $450. So it's an extra $90.
Right. Most everyone would know that, but Brody, he's never gotten that. So, right. I get it. If you win the Super Bowl, you'd be like, fuck that. I want it all. I understand that. The problem is you have, you want to keep people playing later in the season or have a reason to keep setting their lineup. So I see it either way. Who anybody else voted no that wants more information or given their argument on why they don't want to do it? Hold on. Let me bring Mego in. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I kind of like that.
So you're changing your vote. We're going to be now 5-3.
No, because I actually won the Super Bowl, but then there was a couple times when I played too that I lost, and I was still the high points guy. So
right,
I get it.
Right, you exactly what Kevin said. Kevin gave those numbers, but you also could win the Super Bowl, get the Super Bowl money, and win 3 or 4 weeks doing that.
I don't care about that. As long as you win the title, whatever you win, who cares? If it keeps it more competitive, I would rather do the more competitive thing.
Okay,
I agree. I think that's better for the league personally.
Now, Kyle did say. Now, Kyle's a little late. Kyle did say he voted no on the fab, but we already passed that. He voted no on increasing the buy-in. Sorry, we already passed that. And then he has a vote here for the next thing we're voting on. So we'll ask him in a minute. But all right, so it's 8-3 or 5-3. So we're going to have that $10 bonus payout. And it sounds like I think probably everyone's on board with that being to the losing team that scores the most points. That's the easiest thing for a commissioner to keep track of. And it has to be week 2 through 13. And the reason is everyone's pumped for week 1 anyway, but you need that interest in week 13. So it's only an extra, only covers an extra 12 weeks. So week 1, you don't have the bonus. The bonus starts kicking in week 2. The next thing we're going to vote on is, do we want to increase the IR spot this season only due to the maybe the crazy fact that there's no, be less practice time. The guys are going to be in less shape and maybe it'll be used a little more. Clay, you have a question. Go ahead.
And we had discussed as well that it would only be if the season is like off season's tampered with it. Or if they end up going full like normal, then we were going to go back to the same, correct?
I will argue that wasn't what I was saying last week.
Okay.
My point is,
I'm fine either way. I just wanted, I didn't know.
Already screwed up now this year, regardless. I mean, the midsummer camps aren't in. The guys aren't allowed to practice, but like 4 at a time. My point is,
True.
we already know that they're coming in less conditioning than they would be, regardless if the season starts on time or not. The point was, though, we were going to only put it in for this year only.
Yeah.
And then next year, we would, if we wanted to keep it in forever, then we'd revote it in. But this would not be a permanent.
Gotcha.
So Kyle was voting no on this. So if it helps anybody right off the bat, Kyle says no on the extra.
Kyle just not know how to spell yes. Is that the problem?
No, he says yes later on. So we'll get
okay.
there. So that's what we're going to vote on now.
What?
We are okay. Hold on, Zach. What's your question?
We had this issue with Le'Veon Bell on his holdout because it says out instead of it lets you put them on the IR. I've already seen players for this coming season saying that they're going to hold out. I'm assuming if there's issues with the beginning of the season and if they get into the same issue that they're having with baseball with paying players and stuff like that, I mean, I
thought we kind of decided that last year with Brody that if the player is truly sitting out because of a contract issue, he cannot be on your IR spot.
Okay. Because if that was the case, then I would that would change my vote based on what.
Does everyone
understand
that?
That was already confirmed
right.
The Bell situation.
If you draft somebody,
explain that to me like I'm 5.
Well, if you draft Cook right now for Minnesota, who's recommended, he's already saying he's going to sit out this year. But if you draft him in the first round and he sits out and doesn't sign a contract, but he's on your team, you can't put him on the IR. He has to be on your roster somewhere, not an IR spot. Even though now I've heard rumors that ESPN was fixing that anyway this year, where those guys would not be IR eligible. So ESPN might fix it for us anyway. But last year, Brody set a guy out, he set Bell out. No, it was 2 years ago, right? Bell.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Right. He set Bell out for like half the season because he was IR eligible, even though he was healthy enough to play. He just didn't sign a contract. And middle of the season, we voted against that. So as far as I know, that's still a rule we have in our league. If they're sitting out because of a contract dispute, they cannot be on your IR spot. So
I just wanted to clear that up before I voted because, like I said, if so, then that would have changed my vote based on.
Right. Okay. Jimmy, do you have any questions? I couldn't tell if you had your hand up or just you moved your camera.
Nope.
All right. So that's what we're going to vote on now. Do we want to increase our IR spot this year and for this year only with one extra IR spot? If you're in favor of that, raise your hand. And so it's 4-3. Magel's against it. Garrett's against it. Yeah, Reed, you didn't raise your hand, right?
No.
All right. So it's 4-3. And Kyle voted no. So it's technically 4-4. And if it's 4-4, there's not a majority, so that would be voted down. There will be no extra IR spot. I'll leave it out there for just a second. I don't know if when the Crayports happen to be listening on YouTube, they could throw in a vote. But as of right now, if in the next few minutes there's no other vote, that's 4-4. That's not a majority or anything, so that would not happen. Our rosters would stay the same. The next thing we would want to vote on, if that's vote, is when do we want to open the league? It's hard to say. Normally we would have opened our league after the draft. Normally we waited and opened it roughly a month. I don't think in the past until keepers now it really mattered a whole lot. No one cared. Last year there was more activity than normal.
I was going to say last year we had opened it, I thought, after the league
draft.
meeting.
Okay, this meeting. You're right.
Yeah, once the league was set and then it was opened.
Describe open the league. I mean, what do you mean by
the league where really technically where actual trades could take place and actually, maneuvers be made and that thing.
So right now I couldn't make a trade with somebody.
Right now, technically you can't make a trade because the league is technically closed. Now you can discuss and do all kinds of stuff. You just, the actual trade can't go through. So
What about like draft day? What if we roll into draft day?
Well, once draft day's not affected, once we say the league's going to open one way or the other before the draft, and you can make trades during the draft. You've done it yourself, there, ding dong.
Oh, I know.
That's my point. That's not going to change.
Yeah.
Here's my only issue with opening right now, and I said this last week. If you're here, is if the league is pushed back a month, people could be making trades now that could really change the league drastically, because what seemed like an okay trade or even a shitty trade now, a month from now, when the league actually opens, if someone, we have more information, then the trade can turn one way or the other. Some people don't see it that way. I understand. But if real NFL is behind a month, then that means there's less chance of injury and all that stuff. So obviously, everything gets pushed back. Now, I'm good technically either way, but the downfall of opening a month early is, trades and shit that actually happen can't be taken back. Like right now, if you're just negotiating a trade and you guys verbally agree and say when the league opens, we'll make that deal. Well, that's fine. Unless one of those guys gets hurt, in training camp, and then you say, well, wait a minute, it's not really official yet, so we're not going to do it. So that's my only issue. If we start trading stuff way too early, you run those risks, but that's still an owner risk. Go ahead, Megal.
But you can still wait. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
That's up to the owner. You can say, okay, I'm not going to make this trade for another 2 months because I'm not sure what's going to happen. Yep. If somebody's really interested in a trade, let them make the trade, in my opinion.
I see it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just know there are, the only reason I brought it this year is there are other leagues that are just saying, no, we're not going to open the league until we know the NFL has a set start date. So, all right, that's what we're going to vote on. We're going to vote right now. Do we want to officially open the league up after this meeting, I guess would be the answer. If you're in favor of opening the league up right away, raise your hand. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5-3, so that would pass unless somebody votes on YouTube against it. So we would open the league up after this meeting, which, like I said, right now, technically all you can really do is trade, make maneuvers for your draft day, that kind of stuff if you want. So,
because I've looked at it right now, all those rookies are in there.
Yeah, but you can't pick them up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So,
it doesn't open up. It's only trades. Your lineup is still set.
You can't pick up anybody off of the, and it's back to you can't pick anybody up. You're right. Technically, you can't pick up anybody right now.
Yeah.
All the players have to be drafted right now. The only players that you can add to your team would be in a trade that you make. So, yeah, just because we're opening the league doesn't mean you can go and pick up somebody off of waivers right now. So, as long as everybody knows that, because Kevin is the one who already picked up Rob Gronkowski. So
yeah, and I didn't honestly. I swear I didn't know that this was even a thing until right now we talked about it.
No, you're fine. It didn't make a difference because
I knew it as soon as you did it that you couldn't do it. So because trust me, I'd already had him on my roster, and I'd have more than him. I'd have other people on my roster if I thought we could do that. But yes, right now no one's available. If they're not on anybody's team, they're not available now till draft day.
Oh, it looks like Brody and TJ voted no in the comments.
Are they in the private chat?
No, that's from Jimmy.
Wow.
Jimmy, I love your enthusiasm. I love that. Now, Jimmy, why are you afraid of the league opening tonight?
I'm just not ready for it.
That's fine. You can say no. You can say no.
You don't have to make trades.
Now, I agree. I'm not ready either. I'm the least ready I've ever been. I would have already mock draft about 100,000 times by now. So with everything going on in the world today, fantasy is, and I'm big into it, but fantasy right now has not been a part of my daily process. All right. So Clay, we got that passed. The next thing is we want to do the draft on August the 30th. I know currently right now that's the date we have set.
Is that a week before?
That's the week before that, and we're doing that because of you. Yes, that would be.
Yeah, you're the one that agreed to that one.
So, and we know with Kyle's a question though, but Kyle can't determine either way. So we could. It's not like we can do the change and then Kyle can still be there. So
I just think more people will be there. It's not a holiday weekend. Most people
I
have
also
plans.
think if we just do it this early helps too. If we know this early, it helps. So I guess anybody not in favor of August 30th, raise your hand.
That's the draft day, right?
Draft day. All right. So there you go. It's unanimous as of right now, unless something major happens. And I still believe something major could be that the NFL says, I know somebody has already said, no, it wouldn't matter. But if the NFL would say, no, we're going to start 4 weeks later, I would say we could still bring it up for vote again if we wanted to change it. But as of right now, I'm fine with August 30th. Go ahead, Clay.
I was just going to say I agree with that. That if something major happens, we can bring it back for a revote.
Right. That's what's nice about our league anyway. We've voted all different times of the season. I mean, as long as we get up, as long as we vote and everyone's on the same page that somebody's not changing the rules on them or cheating. So, all right. So August 30th. The next,
Where's that going to be? Is that normally who hosts that?
well, it's always been at Magel's until last year we had it at TJ's, but I think Magel invited us back this year.
Yeah, we can have it there. That's
looking like a true winner, Magel.
A true champion.
And you better hoist that thing around while
I want you to see the goblet right there in front of the big TV.
All right. So August 30th, I'd assume we've always started at around 12 noon. So I'm sure that'll all stay the same. But you want to get there early to get your keepers put in. If you want to wheel and deal before, and if you want a pork sandwich, Kyle, before then. So, we're good there. All right. The last thing then that we have is to decide if tonight, do we want to start doing the draft order, or do we want to do the drawing for the draft order? I guess, first of all, Clay, are we prepared to do it if we vote on yes? Or do you have the magic balls there?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm sure you'd put the camera down on the magic ball. So
I think if I just push screen share,
we don't want
or share screen.
All right. So the first
I have
thing
it up on my computer. So if I push screen share, everyone would be able to see me do it, right?
Should be able to. All right. So is everybody for going ahead and selecting starting tonight the draft order, as far as at least drawing the names of the people who get to decide what the draft order is? Kevin, question.
So is the probability of me getting a higher pick more because I was further down in the rankings?
No. Everybody is equal in this thing. Everyone has one ball in the thing, and whatever comes up, that's the order.
I wouldn't have sabotaged my season if I would have known that.
Yeah, way to go, Garrett Jr. That's your fault. We've had that discussion in the past, and
I agree. I completely agree.
The problem is you don't want people throwing away their last couple games to get more marbles in the thing. So,
but you're able to pick if my ball gets picked first, I can pick the 5th spot.
You could. That's correct.
Yes.
So, all right. Anybody against us drawing tonight? Raise your hand. All right. So we're drawing tonight.
Wow.
Now, the only argument I have still is, are we setting any kind of a time limit between? Because I had that argument last week, and I think even last year. A person should have more time than just to answer the question, immediately. Are we going to put on the clock for a 24-hour period, a 2-hour period, a 48-hour period? Obviously, we have plenty of time. So my argument is longer is better. But Clay, go ahead.
We did it last year. It was a 48-hour time period per pick or per person.
Okay, but I think we knew in like 8 hours. So everyone kind of knew already. But I agree.
You're talking about you have 48 hours to figure out. Like I have 48 hours to tell you I want the second pick.
Right. If you're the first person
when you're on the clock,
right,
you text me.
48 hours. And then after 48. So what's the penalty after 48 hours? You get bumped to the bottom? I don't think we ever had a penalty other than Clay or me is going to bitch at you and say, come on, make your fucking pick.
Yeah, I mean, if you're at like 46 hours and haven't picked, I'm just going to be blowing up your phone until you pick.
The key is that it's your turn, I guess.
So the clock doesn't start until it is your turn.
Yeah. So I think that'll work.
Let's do it, Clay.
Reed, are you okay? You understand what we're talking about? All right, good. All right.
Am I lagging? Am I lagging really bad?
No, not like you were last week, but however lag you have to get so your ball comes out first. That's okay.
Yeah, I
with
know.
me, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to
Somebody
hit
write me
share
down.
screen.
But I
see if
still
this-
right. I mean, at least last time I could have had Dally in the room watching you or something. We have to, trust you this time. Like, do the screen share if you can, because I think if you do that right,
Okay, I'm doing it, but I've never done it before though.
I'll write these down.
Kevin, Sergeant at Arms, you're a good man.
Application window, I
Hey,
think.
Did you get a job yet? Hey, Kevin, I messaged you a personal message and you never got back to me, you bitch. So I prefer that you go look at your messenger and answer my question.
I didn't see that you messaged me.
I did last week.
Okay, I'll check it right here.
And you were actually answering questions in the other room, but you didn't answer my private message. And
I probably never saw it.
You liar. Well, you need to look at it. I need an answer. I need an answer pretty quickly.
Is it doing it or no?
I don't see anybody's screen. I thought you could just click the screen share. We didn't practice this.
Someone that doesn't have Westmount internet should probably do this part.
No, he's got worse
Is
than
it
West.
doing?
Do you have dial-up or what?
Yeah, I hit share screen.
You did hit share screen? I don't think I have to do anything.
Yeah.
Let me bump everybody down but Clay and see if it makes a difference.
Want to share the content of your screen shoot.
See, if I hit share screen, see my screen shares. I think you have to make sure if you have more than one screen up. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Clay's screen. Now I got it. Okay. Let me bring people back on. Okay, hold on now.
Can you?
I don't know how. Did you already hit the button?
No, I haven't done anything yet.
Okay,
I was
hold
gonna
on.
say that's horse shit.
Hey, as an English teacher, I'm kind of pissed that all those names aren't capitalized.
Okay, I can't get any more people. Sorry,
Yeah, I know.
Reed, I can't get you in there. But can everybody see the screen?
Yeah.
Everybody has one ball. And when he hits submit, somebody can take a screenshot, but we'll have it one way or the other because I don't have my phone here. All right, let's do this, lag boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So how it's gonna work is I hit submit. When I hit submit, though, it's going to be covered, and I'm gonna unveil them.
Yeah,
Reveal
I
them.
get it. It'll cover so you have time to put the screen you already manipulated up there.
No, look.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Does everyone see? I'm going to start at 12 and work my way back up.
All right.
Okay. So with the last pick is Kevin.
Kevin.
All right.
No, Kevin right now has no. Okay, wait. Hold on. Let me pop Kevin out off the screen. Oh, I can't now. Won't let me.
Also, I can't see you guys right now. Just so
okay,
you know,
hold
I
on.
only have the
Kevin,
screen
you
up.
don't need to have Kevin on there anymore. Kevin's done. Kevin doesn't get picked. All right. Pick 11.
All right. Me.
Clay. All right.
Pick 10.
Pick 10. Zach. Yep. Oh, I'm saying I didn't know if you're
Pick
lagging.
9.
I'll pick 8 or pick 9. Kyle. Pick 8. Reed. Pick 7.
Clint Helsinger.
Where's Helsinger, that bitch?
I don't know.
He's in the league. Pick 6. Jimmy. Pick 5. Ben.
And pick 4.
Pick 4,
No.
TJ. Oh, wait, it's down to me, Brody, and
Hey.
Oh, God.
yeah, there you go. Pick 3.
Is Magel going to get back-to-back number?
Brody.
Didn't he have number 1 last year?
No, Brody.
Marker.
TJ had it last year.
Mark.
Mark at number 2. Magel, the Super Bowl champion, now wins the draft. Magel, do you already know what pick you want?
Yes and no.
That bitch
I
is
know
gonna
what
take-
I know what I'm taking. I'm taking a running back. So
Well, no, but do you want to pick
Hold on.
one? What? Do you know what draft pick you want?
yeah,
Meaning you, if we want to discuss
I'm
it
taking
right now,
I'm taking number 1.
you're taking number 1.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd say if you're running a running back, you're crazy not to take number 1.
All right.
I know this. Thank you.
So Magel is taking the number 1 pick. But you didn't have number 1 last year, though, did you?
McCaffrey's off the
I
board.
had number 2
TJ.
because TJ took
Right. TJ had number
From the
1. The year
Giants.
before that, Brody.
Took the running
Yeah,
back.
leave it to TJ to fuck up the number 1 pick last year.
All right. I will go ahead and give you my pick.
Dead last.
I will be picking number 12.
Of course.
Yes. I love when I get what I want, bitches. All right. So that leaves Brody, who's not in. So now Brody is on the clock for 48 hours, that bitch.
Yeah, I can text him though because
Now, because Kyle said if we're doing this, he was available if we needed to send him a text.
I doubt it will get to
Mark?
Kyle.
Mark, why do
What?
you like 12?
Well, if I tell you, then next year you'll take it from me.
I was
No,
going to take it from him this year. He didn't fight.
Ever since I've been in the league, he's always taken that.
You want me to tell you 100% the truth right now?
you get back-to-back picks. You get the 2 best.
Because I traded my 5th round pick to, I think, Jimmy. Who has my 5th pick? Jimmy or Kyle?
I think I might actually.
I think it's Kyle.
You now have the very last pick in round 5, and I get the number 1 pick in round 6. So that, that helps me a little bit there. So that helps me. No, the number 1 reason is I think right now in the NFL, the league is there's so many good players that I get in pick 12 and 13. I get 2 potential first round guys. That's all. I'm willing to take 2 really good guys. And I hope, I don't know, the last few years, this top 3 or 4 or 5 picks, there's only been a couple that have worked out, but I'm good with it anyway. I'd rather have 12 and 13 than I would rather have picks 1 and pick 23 or 24.
Well,
So,
I think the number 1 pick's pretty far above the rest, especially in the last
this year, right? This year, if I'd have got number 1 this year, I would have taken the number 1 pick. If I'd have got number 1, that you guys might have been surprised. This would have been the year I would have taken the number 1 pick. Now, Mago, I'm not. I think there's other running backs, but I agree. This year, the number 1 guy is pretty much set. Every draft I've done or watched, the number 1 person's the same every pick. So,
Good old McCaffrey.
unless you were a Pittsburgh fan and you don't know how to draft, then it's But I think it'll be fun. Okay. If you text Brody, I don't think we need to keep doing the podcast. We've been 50 minutes. So you can just text people in the message room if we get people added that are putting down who they want and everything. So anybody have any other questions? And just be watching the message board and your phone for Clay to tweet out or tweet to Facebook, message you, and or text you that you're on the clock.
Why did we go back to a text message system again?
Well, we only went back to that because a lot of people in Messenger turned off their Messenger. They turned off that chat room because they didn't want to be bothered. So they'll all get back on once the season starts.
Yeah.
So we'll be fine. Mago, do you have a question or are you just drinking beer?
I'm just drinking beer.
Oh, all right. Reed, are you good?
Sorry, I got my hand up.
You have any questions there, Reed? You've been pretty vocal tonight. He's got his mic muted. So he just,
Sorry. Yeah.
You're my favorite. I don't care. You're my favorite. You'll score all the points.
With everything. I was already gonna.
All right. Anybody else? Jim, host Smasher, any
Hold on.
questions?
Real quick. Hey, so Birdie wants the 2nd pick.
Brody's
I'm just
taking
telling everyone on the thing.
All right, Brody's
Is that confirmed, Birdie?
It is confirmed.
Okay, Birdie is taking the 2nd
So
overall
why
pick.
isn't he on the fucking show?
All right. Thank you.
Bastard.
Yeah, right.
So
He's like, well, I didn't know we were doing picks
Hey,
tonight, even though how many texts and messages have I sent out saying this?
I know. And he was here and drunk last week. So TJ's on the clock. TJ's, I know. Everyone else is
TJ,
going to go.
but
No one else is as smart as me. Everyone's going to know. TJ's going to take the 3rd pick. That way he can get Ben Roethlisberger.
Mhm.
All right. Anything else before we go? Any last questions or comments? Everyone understands what we voted on tonight. Now's the time to bring it up, even though it's already been voted on. But if there's a real major problem, we can discuss it now. We're good. Clay,
I'm
anything?
open for trades.
I'm open.
I'm open for trades.
I'll trade you. It sounds great.
Sounds great.
All right. Well, not just draft position, but I'm talking about like I got keepers and stuff. If you only got 1 or 2
Yeah, me
keepers,
neither,
right,
man.
Kevin?
I've got 1 keeper on my radar. I'm looking to go after. So.
I know that, but if you don't get them, I got plenty of other ones.
I don't need any keepers.
But
I'm
just
pretty
letting people
keeper
know I got
full myself.
Are
All
you?
right. Huh?
I forget what you I forget your team. I can't remember what you had.
I do have a 16th round quarterback keeper, so keep that in
I
mind.
have no keepers. That makes
I was
my
gonna say, I
team.
think I maybe have you down for 1 or 2.
Well, last year everybody said that, and I only kept one, and that worked out, and that one didn't even work out. I should have not kept them all last year either.
Yep.
So,
True.
all right. Anybody else? Last time we're going to end this show. If you get a hold of TJ, just like I said, shoot it out, shoot a messenger.
Yeah.
Kevin, answer my damn message someday.
Okay.
You bitch. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you. I don't know now when we'll have another show. It'll be down the road now at some point.
Yeah.
If we have to have a meeting for something major, we'll send out a message. Otherwise, you know what, guys? The league's open. We'll we'll start doing stuff and wait for the draft and we'll see who beats Brody in the Super Bowl this year. All right, everybody.
Yep.
Say good night.
Sounds good. See ya.